Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back once again with WIHSEA Valorant. This is going to be week 3 of the season. We have NRHS versus Two Rivers today. NRHS is going to be starting on the defense side, and Two Rivers is going to be starting on the attack side. Today's map is Haven. This is going to be a three map, a 3-site map, I should say. So it's going to be very interesting to see how these teams decide to play it. I'm kind of intrigued to see both teams are going to be running double sentinels with the Cypher and KJ picks are a little more, those are like you see those pretty much every time you play Haven. Those are like guaranteed. Those two are going to be on either at least one of the teams. But then having the Sage and the Deadlock pick is going to be very interesting. So, yeah, I'm really excited to see how these teams have practiced this map, how they play this map. And yeah, let's get right into the first round here in just a moment as soon as we load in. So I was looking up into these teams here, and I am very excited. There's a few players that are on my list for who I am excited to see. I mean, obviously, I'm excited to see everybody play, but there's a couple players that have been putting up some pretty good performances in their past games. So Two Rivers, as a team, they haven't played a regular season game yet. This is going to be their first actual regular season game. They have one win on the board, but that was through a forfeit. So this is going to be the first time we see them playing their regular season. But they did play a preseason match against Cedarburg early on, so and they ended up winning that one. So I'm excited. It was a close game, so let's see how this team plays as we start with an initial A push from Two Rivers here. Four players on the A long lane there. Looks like we're gonna get a rotate out. Adorbs does end up seeing that there is Cypher chips here, kind of telling his team that, telling their team that Cypher is towards A, so C might be a little more free, or B. A lot of running going on onto this B site. Lemuel getting a little bit of damage on the Saber there. Rotates into the back site. Dysfunctional and Saber. Dysfunctional getting the first pick of the game onto Eggs. Crazy 8 also picking up the Ice
One
Slasher.
enemy remaining.
Wow, everyone's just running down. That was quite a bit there, but good first round here by NRHS. As we go into the second round. So as I was saying, both of these teams are undefeated this season so far. NRHS has 2 wins under their belt. Two Rivers has 1. Last week, a big performance from Quench. They ended up dropping 30 eliminations, which was very, very impressive to see, especially in a close game like they had. I believe they won 13-6 or 13-7. That was very, very well played on their part. As Pierre here, Quench getting a very early pick on the Lemuel wall coming out. That's going to stop any sort of explosion onto the site. Warrants a rotate out from Two Rivers. As we have 4 people on this side of the map, leaving A wide open. Cypher just playing in the back of the spawn there, using the cam for information as we get a bit of a push, a couple pings coming out showing that they do recognize that there are going to be players in those positions by C in garage and on site. But looks like we are rotating pretty quickly over to A. Some noise being made, bringing Dysfunctional onto the site.
They found my cage trigger.
A lot of noise being made. It looks like we are going to finally get a hit onto a site. Ice Slasher getting flashed by Saber. Dysfunctional also getting hit in the crossfire there, but leaving eggs all alone. Just a classic in hand, not going to be able to do much as Quench gets their second on the round. As two flawless rounds so far from NRHS. While looking for some talking points today, I was looking into NRHS's last season, so last year at this time, they only lost one game the entire regular season. So they're looking to keep that momentum going. You know, they're going to be trying to do whatever they can to get these wins. There's a very early peak. Quench hearing a lot of noise outside the grass. Swings out, here's two Aries and just decides it's better for them to just start running. Pierre taking a little bit of damage, able to heal themselves up as we got 4 players from Two Rivers in this garage window. Looks like we are going to get a push out. Crazy 8 misses the initial shot on to Ite. A beautiful shot onto Eggs, making it a 4v5 already. As we got a couple players from Two Rivers are going to be pushed out onto the site. We are not able to get the kill onto the Dorbs. As we even it out 3-3, Saber picking up one of their own, pushing out onto the site.
Enemy remaining.
They don't find Fidget in the corner, but Crazy 8 coming in from behind and swooping in, getting the kill, finishing the round. 3 straight rounds for NRHS. A very, very dominant showing so far, only dropping 2 kills to the side of Two Rivers so far. So NRHS able to keep their momentum going, just kind of running it down a little bit. Two Rivers, I like how they're playing. They're playing a little bit slower, but and they are realizing that if there's too many of those NRHS players there, they are rotating out. Saber, looks like we're gonna get an early duel. Lemuel, sorry, gets the pick onto Saber. That's a very, very good early elimination to get. It gets a lot of the players from NRHS over into the A site as they wall off A main.
Blocking sight.
Quench just spraying through the smoke, trying to get a kill there. Picks up Quench, but not after. Or sorry, picks up Lemuel, but not before they pick up Crazy 8. Dysfunctional, able to get the pick onto Adorbs and Ite Saber. Or sorry, Ite Slasher. As it looks like a bit of a crossfire going to be set up here. Dysfunctional, able to get their third of the round, but Eggs shutting them down.
One enemy
Spectre in
remaining.
hand takes out Quench. As they do not know where Pierre is here. Not planted for Eggs, so they are going to have to swing out just a little bit. Pierre. It doesn't look like they have a button bound for the spike here.
I will not
There we
die
go.
here.
But Eggs nets themselves and ends up clutching the round. First one for Two Rivers, but dies to the spike. But you know what? That is perfectly fine. They have the money. They can buy up new rifles and work towards this work towards keeping this momentum up for them. But a little bit of a change up, just having those 3 players from NRHS towards A to start the round. It looks like they might try to aggress down and get a couple early picks. If not, just steamroll on to Two Rivers here. We're going to follow Saber as he takes the lone road down into short. A lot of players from Two Rivers are going to be pushing down A. Lemuel sees the cam, takes it out very quickly. A little bit of a slowdown here. Everyone taking their time. Saber smoked off. Might run into Adorbs here if they do end up shooting. Drift decides not to. It looks like we are going to get another rotate from Two Rivers, but a lot of space taken by Pierre. As they hear all 4 players from Two Rivers doesn't decide to take the shot. Will start.
Omen
Picks
killed.
up Saber Slasher, sorry. But Lemuel stuck in the corner, able to get a nice shot onto Pierre. Quench trading them out very quickly.
One
there.
enemy remaining.
Dysfunctional, get the pick onto a Dwarf.
Team Ace.
And Saber picking up the final kill of the round, getting that momentum back in the favor of NRHS, but Two Rivers still doing a very good job. A very nice shot from Lemuel there. In their preseason game, the one that I was talking about earlier, they were able to drop 30 kills on Breeze. They were playing against Cedarburg. I haven't seen them play yet, but it was a close match. It ended up being 13-7, so it had to be a pretty good game to watch. But looks like we're gonna get back into the game here. We're gonna get a C split coming out by Two Rivers. Quench flashing, but gets taken out by Adorbs through the flash. Crazy 8 with a nice shot onto Eggs. Almost gets taken out by Lemuel. Adorbs taking a lot of space on site. Picks up the pick on Adorbs. And Crazy 8. Ult coming out. Gonna be able to get back in time, but with that Cloval, you gotta kind of push in.
Remaining.
Lemuel getting some nice shots off with the op, leaving just Dysfunctional all alone in CT. As they figure out where Dysfunctional is, gets the pick on Lemuel. That op is down now, but Adorbs finishing up the hit. Two Rivers back and forth now. We're going 4-2 after the first half, or sorry, the first half of this half, but looking very good on both sides. Two Rivers not backing down. They're getting their picks, playing their game. You know, they might be down by 2, but 2 rounds is nothing. So looking to keep their momentum going. Going back to this A site. NRHS switching it up to have that Clove up in B. Just waiting for that window swing, but not gonna get it. As it does look like we're getting a pretty quick push. Saber just playing time, playing noise. Lemuel, I don't know if they know if that trip is there. Gonna get seen and sprayed out by Saber there. 3 players stuck in. The spray's coming out, not gonna connect with anything. A couple players are gonna be stuck in sewer here. Or sorry, in short. Quench hearing some noise. Pierre also hearing Adorbs right next to him, not able to get the pick. Adorbs, that's very big. That's one sentinel down. Quench getting that pick back. Crazy 8 getting Eggs in mid. Slow down here by Fidget and Ite. Saber pushing up. Here's the
One enemy remaining.
Fidget gets the pick, bringing it to a 1v4 for Ite. Phantom in hand. Not able to find Saber. 3 on the round for Saber. And once again, back and forth. NRHS picking up another round, making it 5-2. As we go to round number 8. Let's see how Two Rivers is going to be handling this one. Looks like we're going to go back towards C. Maybe going to be doing kind of a quick push through garage. There is going to be nobody really holding them there. But we'll see how Pierre and 8 decide to play this once they hear all this noise, especially from Quench, who's going to be hearing it. Lemuel getting the first pick on the Pierre.
Territory, my rules.
Deluxe ult coming out, but not going to be able to hit anything. Quench getting the trades. 8
Spike down.
also able to get one of their own. Lemuel taking out Crazy 8,
Blocking sight.
but Ite flashed by Quench, who's stuck in this corner here. Walls up, able to get out in time. Lemuel getting the 3rd on the round. 1 bullet in the op. Spike is dropped in garage, so it's going to be a little bit difficult, especially with just an operator in hand. Lemuel might have to switch. They do have the Omen ult if necessary, but it sounds like they are going to try to just brute force this Spike, save that Omen ult, but Lemuel pushing into CT.
Last player standing.
Quench get one of their own. They know where Lemuel is with the noise. Flash and Molly coming out, just denying any sort of
30 seconds
chance for Lemuel to get in towards the spike. Lemuel able to take a little bit of space. As soon as noise is heard, they're flashing, swinging.
Enemy remaining.
Lemuel with the 4th on the round, but not able to transfer over in time. Saber just barely winning out that fight. Very good round by Lemuel there. 3 kills with the operator, switching it up and almost picking up that 1v2 clutch right at the end, but NRHS just barely able to squeeze one out. But looks like no real changes in the starting defense here. We got the Sage and Cypher still on CNA respectfully, but looks like a little bit of a mid hit. Maybe a default of sorts, trying to get a pick of their own. Saber ready with the stun. Here's a lot of noise in main. Dysfunctional, seeing the jet. Getting the Saber, getting the pick on Fidget, dropping the spike in short. That's huge for NRHS. And it forces Two Rivers to try to speed up on the site and pinch Saber, but they're not really going to be able to do anything, leaving just Ite and Eggs here close to the spike. Adorbs getting the pick of their own, but a lot more work to be done. It is a 3v4. Spike in a terrible position for Two Rivers, but it's doable.
Last player
Crazy
standing.
8 and Saber holding down the front, but NRHS once again able to win the round, bringing it to 7-2. They're on a roll now, 3 straight for them. Really good performance out of Saber so far, 12-2. I haven't seen very many mistakes coming out from NRHS, which is what Two Rivers was hoping for, but they are able to capitalize off of small easy mistakes. So I'm going to be excited. I'm going to be ready to see how they capitalize off of any others in the future. But looks like we're hitting C here. Quench ready, waiting to get this first pick. Crazy 8 with a very early 2 kills on the round. Ite left all alone in the mid. Spike not in hand though.
No
Eggs
charges.
being rushed by Quench, walls him off.
One enemy
Quench able to
remaining.
get the pick onto Lemuel. Sees the gun of Eggs, but Crazy 8 swings and picks up the final kill of the round. Flawless once again for NRHS. I really like the idea from Crazy 8 to push out in the mid there, as they haven't really done that this whole game yet. So it really took Two Rivers off of, or it caught them off guard, it seemed, because they were ready, you know, just to take that space as they had in the past few rounds. They were able to go in through grass into garage pretty easily before they met usually one player from NRHS, but now they're gonna have to recognize that there might be some sort of push down. Swing out from Quench, nothing seen. Still hears a little bit of noise. Crazy 8 swinging out. They did hit Adorbs just a little bit. Sees them in the window, not able to. Picks up through the wall. Looks like we are gonna have a good fight here in mid.
One enemy remaining.
Lemuel all alone, running into Pierre, who picks up the kill, trying to do anything to get around the bullets of Pierre, but not able to do anything. Last round of the half here, 9-2. NRHS looking very strong. Two Rivers needs this round, and then we might see the coveted 9-3 curse. You know, that would be something. I will say, Haven is a very offensive-sided map, but when you're playing a team like NRHS, they're going to be very good at holding down these sites. They're going to push you back as if they were on offense. KJO coming out as we're going to have a fight here in B main. Eggs taking a little bit of damage. Crazy 8 not able to pick up the kill.
Spike down, C.
as this KJ ult will end up going off. Nobody detained or nothing, but moves those players off of the site. Flash coming out, which pushes those Two Rivers players back. I did not realize, but we have the spike down on C. This is going to be very difficult. Very difficult for Two Rivers to recover. Saber taken out by Fidget. Quench getting their own though. Flash coming out. Two Rivers just going to have to try to push
Last
through,
player
get their picks.
standing.
But dysfunctional, finishing off the half. Very, very strong defensive half for NRHS.
Switching sides.
As we switch it up, switch sides, see how this deadlock and killjoy combo will go. This is what I was excited to see. I want to see how they're setting up here, how they expect to try to play this. As it looks like we're gonna get the killjoy on C with just more informational util usage here, and same with eggs, looking like they're kind of forcing NRHS to kind of go down this A long and funnel them towards this one site. Or they might throw the wall early round. Actually, it doesn't look like they bought the wall, sorry. But looking to maybe fight a little bit
Listening.
on A. Lemuel getting stunned, not able to do any damage with that initial shot. Takes a bit of their own, but a very fast push. Quench getting the first pick of the half. Lemuel getting flashed. Very beautiful take here by NRHS. 3v5. This Adorbs is going to be able to get around the trip, but only has a shorty in hand, so they are going to have to get very up close and personal.
One
Crazy
enemy
pushing
remaining.
out, picking up Fidget and Ite. As it looks like they understand that Adorbs is going to be behind them. Walling off with the Sage. That's huge on these pistol rounds. So Adorbs just going to try to do whatever damage they can. It's probably not going to be a whole ton, but Flash coming out, just trying to keep them from rushing down. Adorbs maybe getting one with Quench, but Quench just too accurate with the Sheriff this round. 11-2. That is a big round for NRHS. They're gonna have the momentum. They're gonna have the money going into these next two rounds, and Two Rivers gonna probably have to buy up here, but it looks like we're gonna get a Stinger, a Marshall, couple extra pistols, and util out of Two Rivers, just doing whatever they can to try to keep NRHS from winning these next couple of rounds. But it looks like we're gonna get an interesting mid split. Quench getting a very early pick on Ite, which allows NRHS to just push up onto this B site. Fidget getting ran down here by Saber. Crazy 8 pick getting
One
their
enemy
own.
remaining.
I think it's every single time I go away from Crazy 8, they hit some crazy
Spike
shots.
planted.
So Saber running. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. Adorbs left all alone in garage once again with the shorty, not really able to do much, but you're gonna have to try to do a little bit of damage here, as it looks like NRHS will be taking it to map point very soon here. Crazy doesn't see Adorbs. Adorbs just wants to get one pick. Just something, you know, a little consolation prize. I think Crazy 8 saw him, but they didn't. Oh no! Running into Crazy 8. 3 players from NRHS are gonna be losing their
Match
guns
point.
though. That could make this last round, or sorry, this match point interesting. There's a lot of Ares judges, and maybe a Vandal coming out by Adorbs there, but it's going to be interesting because NRHS is limited to just a couple pistols and a Spectre this round, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult for them to convert this last round, especially against the Ares and judges of Crazy 8 getting the first pick. A lot of chip damage done though. Ite Saber not able to do enough damage. Eggs taking out Quench. Crazy 8
Last
just
player
running
standing.
through. Saber getting the last pick. Lemuel
Spike
stuck
planted.
with a Marshall.
Stay down.
Gonna need a miracle. 1v4 here.
Blocking sight.
Position is noted. All these players running at Lemuel. Oh, Pierre does get hit, but
Attackers win.
Saber able to finish out the game. 13-2 victory there for NRHS. A dominant start to the season so far. 3-0. Very beautiful, very good gameplay coming out from both sides. I saw some very nice shots. Sorry to Crazy 8 for missing
Good game.
all of those beautiful double kills, but
You guys put up a good fight.
very good match overall. 2 20 bombs coming out from 8 and Quench, but yeah, as I said, overall NRHS able to just sweep the floor with Two Rivers here, continuing their search for an undefeated season. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it, and we'll be back next week on, let's see what map, Icebox. That's going to be